Because the traffic in City Skylines never ceases to annoy people, I'm going to do another video and show you more tips and tricks on how to manage it. I'm going to show you how to go from bottlenecks like this into highways like this, which will allow your traffic to move beautifully. First of all, I'm going to show you the basic setup that a lot of people use. They use the in-game already made solution for getting traffic into and out of the city. These are what the game calls them, the three-way intersections. I call them the interchanges. Now these create bottlenecks. Bottlenecks are created because you have traffic coming in and traffic going out. And no matter how many parts of the city you have, always the same bottlenecks. I'm going to show you a totally different solution. I call this the tree solution, because these two highways look like tree trunks, and then you have the highway on and off ramps as the branches of the tree. Now during this video I'm going to show you all the ways that you can even improve on this concept and make it work for your city. My name is Peter and I have a lot of other videos about City Skylines that you might want to check out on my channel. So think about subscribing and don't forget to hit the like button if you do find this video enjoyable. If we take one more look at the standard out-of-the-box solution, for this city, for the traffic to be going onto the right side, we have these two, and for the left side we have this one. If I wanted to make another way for the traffic to get into the left side of the city, I would once again have to go for the out-of-the-box solution and use this three-way highway intersection to make another entrance for the city to get traffic from the highway. And when I connect this, I now have an additional way for the traffic to get into the left side of the city. So now we have the left, the right and the left. But this isn't very good. You still have 4 bottlenecks instead of 1. Now let's go over to the better solution. Here on the other side of the river, I'm going to show you how to create highways which are going to give you lots and lots of highway entrances and highway exits. For this, I'm first going to use one single highway going from down to up, and then I'll need another one that's going to go from up to down. If I start to make a new highway out from this one, and I just go to about 700 cost or 630, that's enough of a distance. So I just unclick here and I start drawing a highway. And now I have 2 highways, one going south to north and the other one going north to south. The trick here is that this combination of highways is a lot different than what you're used to. You're used to highways going like this. And there is a big problem here. You can only do highway off-ramps to the side of the highway which allows it. So here I can only do a highway off-ramp to the right, and over here I can do the highway ramp to the left. But in this configuration you're no longer stuck with that. What you can do is do a highway off-ramp to the right, and then a highway off-ramp to the left. This forces traffic to firstly use all 3 lanes and allows you to have traffic coming from here to get into the city and the traffic coming from here to go onto the left side of the city. You can do the same thing with the traffic going in the other direction. Absolutely no problems with having ramps on both sides on the same spot, because the traffic will simply choose the middle lane to travel forward and the right and left lane to turn. And if they don't turn, that's fine too, they can just keep moving forward, because a vehicle moving forward won't create a problem for a vehicle behind it turning into this lane. Now, what to do with these two? Well, you have 2 options. Because you now have more space than you did over here, you can choose to either go up and create an overpass, like so, and then go like that and have a ramp that's going to go to the right side of the city. When it comes to the left one here, we can delete this and then create a tunnel. If we do not wish for an overpass, we can do it with a tunnel. What this allows you is to have traffic that is going to come from any direction and go to any part of your city. The best part about this is that all you need are 2 straight highways. You do not need any intersections, and this cleans up the whole area. An additional thing that you can do is have the highways raised up. So you don't have to use the level highways, you can use the highways which have been raised up. And when you have them, what you can do is get the normal streets underneath these highways and connect 2 sides of your city with each other without the need for the vehicles to get onto the highway to be able to get off of the highway to get to the other side. As for the ramps, they work the same way. If we want to turn over here to the right, we can use this ramp and just try to not hit the pillars, that is. So turn over here, go down, and here we are. We are on the right side of the city. We want to go left, we go left. I do the same thing for the other side. I just get the highway to go like this, and on the left side I do the identical thing. Now if you take a look at these 2 highways, they're just leading the traffic right next to them. But what you can do is actually do something different. You can get the traffic to go very far. For example, if I do a tunnel, I can get the traffic all the way here. Same thing on this side, I can get the traffic all the way here. This way you're forcing the traffic to go in the center of your city instead of on its edges. And if I want the traffic to be actually coming onto this highway, I just need to make sure that an on-ramp always comes after an off-ramp. So this way, the vehicles getting off won't make a problem for the vehicles getting on. Because if you were to turn this around and have the vehicles have an on-ramp and after that have an off-ramp, the vehicles who wanted to turn here and take an off-ramp would be getting in the way of the vehicles coming with an on-ramp. So when you're using the system, always follow an off-ramp with an on-ramp and never an on-ramp with an off-ramp. That's just something to remember. Now, like I said, you can get the traffic all the way to the middle of the city, and what's great about this system is that you do not wish to create portions of your city where the traffic is both coming in and getting out. This way, you're drawing off this ramp to get the traffic off of the highway into the city, but you can choose a whole other part of your city for an on-ramp. So once you get an on-ramp from here, the traffic that wants to come into the city will go and diffuse from here, but the traffic that wants to go onto the highway will converge here. That way you have a nice flow where this traffic is coming in here, while the traffic that wants to go out is going over there. That way you're preventing what's happening here. The traffic both wants to come in and get out of this area, and that means that whole traffic that's around your city here is going into the same direction or coming out of the same direction, creating traffic jams. In this system, you have a diffused way of getting traffic off and onto the highways without them ever converging at the same point. Now let us make a small piece of a full build of this. So like this, and then I go from here to here. Now I made a little bit more space than necessary, but you can make it as tight as you can. Just make sure that you can actually get ramps to go up or down depending on how you want to cross the other highway. So from here I'm going to do an off-ramp which is going to go underneath this one and be a tunnel. Then I want to have the same thing on the other side. I'm just not going to use a tunnel because I do not have to. Then after this, because this is an off-ramp, I'm going to follow it up with an on-ramp. So from here I have an on-ramp, and from the other direction I want the same thing. So now again I'm just going to make a tunnel and then switch its path from going in one direction to the other direction. So now I have two off-ramps and two on-ramps for this side of the highway. Now I want to do the same thing for the other highway. And I have plenty of space to do it in. I can even do it almost at the same spot. So from here I want to go onto the right side of the city. So all I have to do is make the highway ramp, go down, make a tunnel, go to the left side, and I didn't even have to do it with a tunnel. I could have just done it with an overpass because the height of this highway allows that to be an overpass. I go up instead of down, so just go above this highway and then again I can go down. So now I have two exits off of two different highways for the traffic to get into my city. Over here I do the same thing like I did on the other side, and I have this other highway off-ramp. Now like I said, always follow up the off-ramp with an on-ramp. So from here I can get an on-ramp for this part of the city, and from this part of the city I can do it the same way. I can have a ramp that is going to go up like this with an overpass and then go down into this part. Now I have two on-ramps for this highway and two off-ramps for this highway, and the traffic won't get into each other's way. Here you can see the finished product with many off-ramps and on-ramps, each intertwined depending on where the highway is and where the highway leads. So each highway now has an on-ramp right next to an off-ramp, and they aren't going to create any problems. If you have the city on both sides of the highway, these are perfect ways to get the traffic on and off of the highways. But I do want to advise you to use this model with the raised highways, because this way you can actually have streets beneath the highways connecting two sides of the city. That will avoid traffic wanting to get onto the highway from this side, using this highway to get to the other side of the city. This is something that you can use, but like I said, if you want to avoid traffic using the highways for travel between two sides of the city, you can use the raised or just dig separate tunnels beneath here for the two sides of the city to be connected. If you're interested to see how this model is actually going to work out in a city, I will do a follow-up video if you need it. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.